Miss Tatiana. How you doing?
Good. How are you? It's been 1 year.
It's been 1 year. This is
The time
our,
around this time, we usually do this, so this is fun.
and I thank you for that because some of the topics on my show, I mean, divorce and heartbreak
Yeah,
and
yeah.
cheating is like, ugh, I want to
I know.
just talk about ghosts for a little bit.
Oh, like to get like a breather, right? This is like the happy
Yeah,
medium
it's just something
versus
fun.
all the other craziness. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yes, this is, again, as you mentioned, your third time, and we always visit on Halloween. And thank
Yeah.
you for doing this. And
This is my
again,
favorite
you've
month.
you've you've blown up. Like, I think you're at 1.4 million followers.
It's
Check you
definitely
out.
it definitely, yeah. It does get a little bit like I absolutely love it. I keep covering more and more stuff, but after a while it's kind of like, okay, what else? What else can I do? Like, can I start doing more like one-on-one, like going to certain places in person? Like, can I start? So it kind of gets to that point. I'm kind of at that point now where I'm kind of like, okay, I need to do more. Like, I need to kind of, but I still love it. I love getting all the stories. I get hundreds of stories, and I absolutely love doing that. And it's fun, and it's definitely like I don't even consider it like a hobby. It's more of a it's
Mhm.
it's become more of my full-time job. Actually, I've actually gone from working full-time. I'm working now part-time because this is now like it's crazy what a year has changed. So
Wow.
I
Well,
feel definitely
congratulations.
blessed, and I don't like to complain because like, and essentially I get to stay home and do what I like. So yeah, it's
That is so good. So again, TikTok has been so good to you. You're able to go from full time to
yeah,
part time,
yeah.
and yeah, I guess that's so cool. That's the dream everybody wants. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely has, gone out. But at the same time, it's not something that I can like. It's great, but I can't depend on that. Like I have to do something else because it's, I just like the algorithm. It could be great for a long time, and then your
Yeah.
videos just start tanking, and you're like, what's going on? And it's a
Hmm.
constant up and down, up and down, up and down. So,
Yeah, I have
but it's
a couple of buddies who are YouTube famous. I mean, they have like 500 followers, 500,000,
ooh,
and they quit their jobs. They do it full time, but they said it's like you're like a car salesman, where you
yeah,
have to save the big commission months and just save it just in case, because like you said, sales or the algorithm can go down, and then all of a sudden you don't
yeah.
have that income coming in.
Yeah, like I have months where I do amazing, and then I'll have other months where I'm like, and I'm like, they
I
don't like
know.
me anymore. I have to just like keep pushing and pushing and trying to come up with more stuff. And, it's a big community. There's a lot of us out there that kind of cover the same stuff. So you kind of have to try to stay on top of things.
Hmm.
I mainly just talk about what I'm interested in, whether it's trending or not. I just talk about what I feel
Hmm.
comfortable talking about, what I feel like I know a lot on. So try to keep it that way. So, but it's been great.
Yeah,
It's
that's
been
good.
fun. Yeah, when
Yep.
I put my phone on do not disturb because it kept
Okay.
going off. So
Uh,
we're
like
good.
like I was saying, like I've talked about the same thing over and over again for quite some time already, like
Yeah.
divorce and all that. It's like that's not my life anymore. Even the ex-wife is like, "You're still talking about that?" I'm like, "That's all people ask me about." So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know what else to
No,
talk
once you
about.
go like viral for a topic,
Yeah,
anytime you try to talk about anything different, it's like I've tried to do like hair and makeup and like other stuff, and they're like, no.
yeah.
Those videos flop. I'm like, oh, come on.
It's like I don't
Why
want
do I have to keep being in like this negative bubble to like talk about all this like super negative stuff?
to.
But I get that because I'm especially in your case, like you that's so far behind you, like you,
8 years.
yeah, that's like you moved on, like you're happy, you're in a new relationship, like it shouldn't. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Like I've been divorced probably about 8 9 years. I couldn't even imagine having to still talk about that subject. So I get that, but you do put out a lot of informative information. So regardless of how
Thank
long
you,
it's been,
thank you.
yeah, so it's great regardless.
Yeah, I try because there's a lot of people who just get the wrong idea when it comes to divorce and relationships because all these red alpha, beta, not alpha, these alpha bro podcasts and all these things that I just like, oh God, this is such horrible advice, but young
Yeah.
men just gravitate to it. So I put it out there, but I guess I'm at a crossroads because, so, like I said, I'm talking about it. And even the fiance was like, why don't you talk about being 46 years old and being a dad
Oh my
again?
god, so
And
you're
like, we're happy.
engaged.
Yeah, I'm engaged.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, congratulations. I didn't know that.
Thank
Wow,
you.
congratulations. That's
Oh,
awesome.
I'm sorry. Well, we didn't make it like a big public thing.
Oh,
Like I didn't want to have like there was a photographer there and all that, but I didn't want to make it like this big social media
yeah,
thing. I
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah. I get it. You
I'm
want to keep that
still
part.
not used to that, being so. all that. I'm not used to that yet.
Me
But
neither. So I started recently. I started getting recognized like locally. I don't know. Maybe my videos are now like being pushed out like near me. But
Mhm.
now I'm like going to like Walgreens and having people recognize me, or like going
Really?
to like Walmart or Target, and I'm like, so I think it's the hair. I think ever since I dyed my hair, they're like,
Oh, it could be.
I know
It
you,
could
I
be.
know you, and I'm like, oh yeah, and it's just like. I at work at the hospital, people will come up to me. I'm like, oh,
Hey,
like
that's
yeah,
you.
that's me. That's me. I talk about all that craziness. Yep.
I get I recently at the gym. I guess maybe because you know how on the videos you can put a location, like where you're.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think that's what it is. I put San Antonio a lot. So lately I've been going to the gym and I've been getting recognized at least twice a month now. Like, hey, you're Rudy, right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm from the South Side, so I'm like, what's up, man? like,
Like
I'm
what you
like, what you trying to do, man? Step back. But I got to get used to that. And they're like, no, I see your podcast. I love your videos. I'm like, oh, thank you. Appreciate that. And like, keep it up. I'm like, I
Oh,
will.
that's awesome.
So it's
Yeah,
weird still for me to get recognized. It's happening more
no,
often
it
to
is
me.
for me. It's the most awkward thing. I feel like I have to like give them something. I'm like, should I? Like, you know what I mean? It's so weird. It's like when they come up to me, I'm
Mhm.
like, do you want me to follow you back? Like, I don't know. Like,
You want a picture? I don't know
like,
what's
what do
going on.
you want? Like, it's just, yeah, but it's sweet and I love it. And it's definitely like extremely flattering to have
It
somebody
is.
be like, oh my God, I like watch all your stories. I love you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah.
Mhm.
It's still awkward. I never know how to react. So I'm always like,
Mhm.
oh,
Well,
that's cool.
I think the wonderful thing, I mean, two different topics, right? But I think the wonderful thing is that I'm helping people. You're giving people like knowledge, and you know they find your
Yeah.
videos entertaining. You deliver you say it's negative, but I see it as it's stuff that really does exist, but you deliver it in a positive way. So I never feel negative when I'm watching your videos. Only when it's
Yeah.
maybe 3 a.m. and I can't sleep, and you start talking about like a ghost story, and then you put all these scary pictures in the back. I'm like, screw
Well,
that.
yeah. I mean, I have
I'm not
to
going to watch
stop
that.
it. But yeah, I won't even watch. I tell people I won't even like if I have to respond to comments, I'll make sure that the volume's off. I don't want to hear it. If it's like
Yeah.
midnight and I'm laying in bed texting back, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Like it even creeps me out and it's my own stuff. So I can't even imagine what people must go through. So
Yeah.
yes.
What was I going to ask you? You've recently had some, I guess, drama on your channel. I saw the other
Oh
day
my
that some
I
creator was like
felt so
complaining.
dumb for even responding to that. But like, because I do get like a bunch of people here and there will say stuff, and I'm just like, who cares? Just ignore it. But this
Yeah.
girl kept like digging and digging and digging and digging, and she made like multiple videos. And I think the last one she had like my face in the background. I'm like, okay, now you're pushing it.
Yeah.
So then I responded very with like love and light, just letting her know, like, hey girl, like I'm still rooting for you, but I've been doing this for years. I didn't just randomly start talking about this stuff. Like, I wish you the best.
hmm
In a different lifetime, we could have been friends, but
And for
yeah.
those who don't know, who are listening, like, what did she do? Like, how did the whole drama start?
So I guess she was doing some of the like paranormal do's and don'ts. Oh, my little thing sliding down again. She was doing some of the paranormal do's and don'ts, and I've been doing those for years. And I guess I made a video and she was like, oh, she's like copying off of me. Like she's stealing my content. She's a bigger creator. I'm a small creator, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, girl, like I can literally pull up videos from like 3 years ago that I did on this stuff and
Mhm.
same stuff that but at the end of the day, like we're all covering paranormal things. So it's whatever. So long story short, like I love it because like my followers kind of came to my rescue and they kind of dealt with it. But at the end, I'm like, I shouldn't have entertained it, but it's fine.
Well, it
I
was
should just
tastefully
let that
done.
go. But it was she was kind of pushing it a little bit. And
Well, you know how they say, like, when you start growing, I'm honestly surprised you haven't had more of that because not that you ask for
No.
it or anything like that. I'm just saying because your platform is so large.
no,
that,
I
you know how-
have.
Oh, you have?
People have taken videos of mine and copied them word for word. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it really, but I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, like the receipts, like say like when I posted it, when they posted it, and a lot of times I'll see like my followers being like, no, like she posted it. So I just like stay out of it. But like I've had people like copy me to a T, and I'm just like, you know what? I guess this comes with, you know, what we do. Like we're so public. We talk about things. People are gonna like, I understand if you're, what's the word? Like if you feel inspired by what I'm saying, but at the end, of the, at least give me a tag or something. Like don't just like steal my content word for word and claim it to be yours. Because a lot of things come from like here. Right. I'm not like Googling things. Like it's some like you're stealing it. So yeah, so I've definitely had to bite my tongue a lot of times. But that last time I was like, okay, I've had it. Like I was like, I'm done. Like this is too much. So
yeah,
I try not to thrive on that negativity.
Yeah, stuff. Well, good on you. Good on you. Yeah. There's a few other creators that I know that like choose to like engage in drama because drama always brings views and clicks. And I just don't want to be part of that. Like it's enough. It's draining. I don't
want to be known for that.
Yeah. No.
I want to just talk about what makes me happy and pretty much it. And I still wish her the best. It is what it is. So
yeah. It was tastefully done. Like I said, it wasn't like you were calling her like bitch, you know, whatever.
Well,
it
no,
was all cool.
I think she was like much younger, actually. I think so. I'm just kind of like, girl, like we're all in this together. Like we could have at one point collaborated or done something together because we're both into the same stuff. But
yeah,
you kind of killed. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Have you considered collaborating with other paranormal channels?
Have not as much as I probably should, but like at the end of the like I do have some very like that we're kind of like back to back that we do follow each other, but a lot of them live like so far away that we just it just hasn't like I mean it would be nice if we could just plan a trip and be like, hey, let's meet in like Salem or something, like let's do something fun, but
yeah, it
just hasn't happened. I'm kind of on my own, just essentially. Anyways.
What was I going to ask you? I noticed you're working for a haunted hayride. You're a zombie. What is up with that?
Love that so much. So it was a spur of the moment thing. We have a festival out here. It's like a music festival we have every year. They happen to be there. They were just like posting for like open casting calls for like new actors, and I was like, "There's no way they're even going to call me. They're not going to call me." I applied. I got interviewed and I got hired. I was like. So now I'm a zombie on the weekends and it's fun. I essentially made it to like create content for TikTok, obviously, but I actually really enjoy it and it's fun. And yeah, I have 2 more weeks of that. So it's been a ton of fun. I met a lot of great people, a lot of people that are into the same stuff I'm into. So that's kind of fun. And surprisingly, I only had like 2 people there that recognized me. Because you would think like if they're into all that creepy stuff, like they would follow certain things. So
like, hey, let's hire her. I know her from TikTok. That'd be great. We can put her on the billboards or something like that. I don't know.
I have promoted their business just because I love it. I just, I talk about it. I tag them sometimes, but yeah, it's been great. It's been awesome. Like way out of my comfort zone type of thing, but I'm glad I did it. It's been great. It's been super fun. Yeah. So I definitely enjoy it.
That's something that I've always kind of wanted to do. I just think I'm too old now to do that.
But
I don't know.
Absolutely not. No, I'm not too far in age from you. I just hope you know that. We're not too far in age.
I'm 46. So
I'm 38. So
you're like 10. You're my fiance's age. So you're younger. So way younger.
I'm 38. But there are like people in their 60s. That work for the haunt. Yeah. Like there's a place for every person. And there's no age limit. There's people that are in high school. There's people that are like retired. Like there's all different type of people. So they're going to find a place for you if you ever wanted to do it.
Well, not this year. I mean, like I said, I'm engaged in my fiance and I, we have a son. He's 11 months today. He'll be a year.
God, congratulations.
Thank you. Aww. And I'm exhausted. So I'm tired, man.
Yeah, God. I don't even remember what that's like having little ones.
You don't want to remember.
My daughter's in college, and then my son's he's 12, so he's doing his own thing. He's just I don't even know. I have a little brother.
I saw that your dad had a son, and I thought I was old, and your dad had a son at what 60?
No, wait. I think he's like 67 or something.
Oh my God. Yeah. How's that? That must be weird having like an infant brother.
I think my brother, what's today's date? The 16th?
Yes.
So my brother is 11 months on the 19th. So he's 4 days apart from your son. So yeah, he'll be a year next November 19th, I think his birthday. No, November 18th is his birthday. Yeah. So definitely very surreal. I told my dad, I'm like, hey dad, I would never have like what do they call it? When people want to have kids. What is it called? I'll never have baby fever because you keep having kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's funny because like I go see him, he looks more like my kid than my own kids. Like we look so
Really?
related. So
Wow.
it's great, but yeah, just
Yeah.
I can't imagine going back there.
I can't either, but you know one thing, it's like our lives are very comparable. Like our kids' ages, like my daughter's at college as well.
Yeah.
She's moved out, so I remember having that. Oh, it's kind of over. And
Yeah.
then I turned around and she's like, "I'm pregnant." I'm like, what? How? Like how? Of course, I know how.
Well, yeah. I'm like, well.
But there were some health concerns from her because again, she's 38. She was engaged twice to two other guys, right? And they could never get it to work. So she's never had any kids. And her doctor said, there's a 99% chance she'll never have it because of, health issues.
Yeah.
And here I come along and then like, here it is.
I guess you fix those health issues. She's good.
I guess I did. Like, you're what? How?
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. That baby definitely has a huge purpose in his life. So yeah. So that's
and I
amazing.
told you I think last year I told you my dream, right? That I had about him. Did I tell you that? Let me, well, when I was single and just being like, silly and having my fun, right? Like all over the place.
We all go through that stage.
Oh yeah. Having my fun. I wanted to get a vasectomy and, I got a vasectomy and I scheduled it and it was supposed to be Saturday morning. That Friday night, I went to sleep and I had a dream that I saw a little boy and he looked at me, he goes, "Hey dad." And I'm like, "Who the hell are you?" And he goes, "I'm your son and we haven't met yet, but you're not supposed to have this. I'm supposed to be in your life." I'm like, "I don't want kids. I got two."
Like
I'm
you
done.
already
He's like, "Nope, too bad. I'm your son and we're going to meet one day. So you can't do this." And I woke up and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, I don't have premonitions. I don't believe in this stuff.
He literally came, it's crazy. Like, you know how they say we all sign contracts before like we're even born as to who our parents are and what we're like going to be like. He must have already been like, he had to intervene and be like, "Hey,
yep,
I'm trying to make it. Like, you need to cut out whatever plans you have because I'm going to come through." And so that's wild that he came before he was even like.
This is in 2018, before I even met my fiance.
That's wild.
Isn't that insane? And then she told me she was pregnant. I'm like, "It's a boy. It's a boy. He's got brown hair." And he's got brown hair and light skinned. He looks exactly how I dreamt him.
That is amazing. Wow, that is like huge. That's incredible. Like, can I do a story on that? Like,
please, if you want, yeah, go ahead. I'll give you the details.
You give me a little bit more detail after, and then I'll do a story because that's incredible. Like, he literally was. It was already assigned for him to be part of your life, and he's like, "Yeah, no, you need to stop. Whatever you're doing, you need to stop."
He's a blessing. And like I was saying, my kids had grown up and you know how they're like, when they get to a certain age, you can't hold them and kiss them anymore because like, "Oh, get away." Well, I miss that. And I can't do that to them. Yeah. You can't do that no more. So I missed being a dad when they're that little. So now that my son is that little, I'm kissing him. I'm holding him. I'm savoring every moment because I know, just like, it flies by so fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're not babies no more.
Even my son, I have to beg him just to like watch a movie with me because he's just into his own little world. Like, and he's only 12, so I can't even imagine. Yeah, you definitely have to enjoy it. It does fly by really fast.
Way too fast.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah, but it's a blessing and definitely huge. Like, he really was meant to be in your life, so that's amazing.
Yeah, so we're very happy for that, and we're also very exhausted, so that's why we haven't gone and done anything. And but we make time to go do it. He's starting to sleep all night, and we're making adjustments. But I wanted to ask you this because it kind of ties to relationships. Because I hadn't lived with a woman since my marriage, right? So I was always the final say, my way, whatever. But she moved in, and we're fine. But I just noticed there was like a huge adjustment for me. Like, and I know you were divorced as well, and now you're engaged as well, right? You got he proposed to you like in New York or something like that. Is that right?
That didn't work out.
Oh my God! I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh my God! So it's over?
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, it didn't. Why do you think my room's pink? because he's not here anymore.
I didn't know you guys. You didn't make it public, did you?
No.
Oh my God.
No, it's fine. Like little by little, people have started to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, what's going on? Like, where's,
so and so. Yeah. He was a good looking dude. Yeah. I'm like, hey, where's that dude at? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, we can cut this out if you want. If you.
No, I don't care. It's honestly, okay. I'm so past it. Like, it was a learning lesson, and it just wasn't meant to be.
What was I going to ask? Well, first off, again, I know you're going to be fine. I know, like I'm shocked.
You're like, what?
That's me being embarrassed. Like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't know. And again, I don't want to pry on like private items like that unless people tell me and they're cool with it. But again, I know you've been through worse, and this is going to be, you're going to be fine. Yeah, you're strong, and you're going to be good.
I've been through way worse, and I'm at peace. I'm at peace right now. So it pretty much tells me that it's the right choice. So
are you on good terms?
So I am on no contact right now. I kind of needed to do that to heal. I couldn't.
Good.
He's been very persistent in wanting to continue the relationship, and I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I need to just heal. Mm-hmm. Maybe down the road, but right now it's been zero contact whatsoever. So it's been rough, but kind of get through it. And, I try to keep myself very busy, and that helps.
Like volunteering as a zombie at a hayride.
I get paid for that. I get paid.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Actually, well, I was shocked with how much they were paying me to be a zombie on the weekend. So
really,
yeah, it started off as like for fun, and I'm like, oh, they're probably gonna give me, like, if I even get paid, it'll be like minimum wage. And then they like sat down with me, and I'm like, oh, that's how much the actors make.
Yeah.
No wonder so many people do this. So yeah, just try to stay busy. I work at the hospital. I'm doing social media, and I'm also doing the zombie stuff, and just trying to reconnect with friends, and I've been remodeling the house and just staying busy. It's, it's fine. You have rough days, but then overall, like, it's fine. You get over it.
I mean, it takes time. It sounds like it just happened. So it's going to take some time, because I think y'all were together for a while, like years. So that's going to take
almost 4 years.
That's going to take a while. That's like a divorce in a way, girl.
It is. It wasn't like we didn't break up over anything huge. It was just kind of like he wanted this and I wanted this, and we couldn't come together. Essentially.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, was there jealousy because of your social media presence?
A little bit.
I bet, yeah.
I'm like, really? Like, that's... Like, he would make comments about, like, comments I were made on, like, videos of mine. And I'm like, these are people that I don't... if it was, like, inappropriate, obviously I would delete it. But other than that, like, that kind of started it. And then it was kind of, like, the bickering back and forth. And, he was trying to do his own social media stuff. And I'm like, I will help you. Like, I have no problem promoting your stuff. Like, he wanted to get into, like, fitness and wellness because he works out a lot, etc. I'm like, I have no problem. And then it was just, like, a bickering back and forth. And then he was unhappy with where we lived. He was unhappy with everything. And then one day he just left. And I was like, oh. Okay.
Oh, wow. Well,
like, okay.
I mean, everyone has their reasons.
I feel like you're like lost for words. You're like,
well, I respect the hell out of you, and I know how these things can happen because especially long-term relationships, and I just want to be respectful and not step on any toes or pry too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. It's again, I have no negative things for him, but once he left while I was at work. I didn't even know he was moving out. Like, I was at work, just minding my business, typing away. Something was like, check the cameras, because I have cameras everywhere. Check the camera. I go to check, they're disabled. I'm like,
what?
So I'm like, okay, so we have a back camera that never works. Never works. I think that's why he didn't think to disable it. I clicked on it. It worked for like 2 seconds just to show me the back of his truck with all his stuff in it. I was like, oh. Wow. So you're moving out. Don't even bother like talking to me. Mind you, we were like on good terms. It wasn't like we were fighting. He just left. So once he left, I text him. I'm like, hey, you could have at least, told me, but cool. Yeah. Live your life. Move on. Just went and blocked him on everything. And I was just like, done.
And now
Came
he's trying to
home
call and get back with. And now he's trying to call and talk to me
very
now.
consistently,
Like,
very
dude.
aggressively,
Yeah.
reaching out to friends, family, leaving me flowers, sending things to my job, like over the top. And I'm like, you left. Like you would have stayed here, we would have been fine. We could have went to counseling, we could have worked it out. You left. So yeah, that was kind of like my final straw. I was like, no, I'm not going back and forth. Like it's leaving me keys to his apartment because he got a new apartment somewhere. I'm like,
Like, we're done, dude. We're done.
Like, gosh, goodbye. So, still wish him the best, but that is what it is. You have to keep moving forward, and everything happens for a reason. And I'm still a very positive person. And I thought I was gonna be like devastated when I got home that day because I was at work. I really thought I was gonna come home and be devastated, but I came home and I was relieved. And I was like, oh, that's a sign. So, just kind of went, changed my logs and moved on.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I still wish him the best. I just don't care to be his friend. I have enough friends.
Yeah, I don't see the point of that. I mean, I'm guilty of trying that, especially the toxic relationships I was in. Let's just be friends. No, it never. You just prolonging the inevitable, and it's just miserable. It never.
The only ex I keep in touch with is my ex-husband. It's because we have children together. So obviously we have to stay in touch, and we have a pretty good relationship. But other than that, I'm like, I'm good. We don't have to stay friends. Like, I wish you the best from a distance. So yeah, that's pretty much, that was the story. It wasn't anything crazy. Like he didn't cheat. I didn't cheat. Nothing happened. It was just like
a bunch of items just kind of.
We just didn't see eye to eye, tried counseling, didn't work. And then he just left. So.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I get a lot of women who message me. I get questions from men and women all the time, right? And sometimes there's a woman who has a big social media presence, but they're bathing suit models or something, something extravagant or sexy. And, their husbands or boyfriends can't handle that attention. And I can understand it to some extent, but that's really their own insecurities surfacing, especially when you met them and they were doing that. And maybe I'm thinking that's probably what was bothering him, especially with your presence blowing up the way it is. Like maybe
when he met me, I wasn't even on TikTok.
Yeah, you both had the account was under both your names.
It was essentially, so I wanted it to be like a couples thing. That's why his name is still even on my email. And he just was never available. So I'm like, and then I did the one story, the scary story that blew up, and then it just completely changed gears. And once I changed gears, my page blew up. So it was like. And at which point I'm like, okay, but either way, like, I'm not out there posting, like, I'm literally posting my face talking. So, but I know there was a little bit, animosity here and there. He would come home, he'd be like, why are you always on your phone? I'm like, I'm literally responding to emails where I'm working with certain people or like I'm signing collaborations and sponsorship. Like I'm working. I'm not like chatting. Like I'm working. I'm trying to set things up. And he was just.
That's his insecurities. That's his insecurity surfacing there. Yeah.
It was like the future. I definitely need someone who's not, who's very sure of themselves, I guess, who's not. Yeah. Or doesn't care about stuff like that, I guess. I don't know.
Well, a person who's like knows the worth and value and isn't going to be bothered by that. Like, hey, like I know she knows what I am and what I can give her. And that's all there is to it. I mean, you see those videos all the time. I want to check his or her phone. Because I think or something that they're cheating, but that's just insecurity speaking. And if it gets to the point in a relationship, I feel that you have to check their phone when they're not looking or when they're asleep. And like, why bother being in that relationship?
That's already a red flag. Like you shouldn't have to feel like you need to check. So, and my phone was like a free open access. Like I didn't.
No code. Like it was.
He knew how to even get in it. I would leave it wherever. Like it wasn't anything I was hiding. Like I was just. Doing social media, but anyways.
Well, the reason I brought it up, I'm sorry. The reason I brought it up is that she moved in May. And I remember, like I said, I hadn't lived with a woman or anybody since my divorce in 2015. Ooh, and we had a couple of like encounters. I remember like I would make a decision on something. She goes, no, well, how about this instead? And she's not overstepping her bounds. She just has a better idea. Because she's way smarter than me. And just that suggestion of her saying something, and I was like, excuse me? Like, I was like, it felt weird to me that somebody had a better idea than me, and that idea was better, that we're going to go with that. But for whatever reason, it messed with my confidence. And I remember being a little upset about that. I'm like, no, that's your own idiocy, Rudy. It's like you're cohabitating with somebody now who
Yeah.
has another idea or suggestion about putting something here or going about a bill this way. It's the better idea. And plus, just dishes. Apparently, I was doing dishes wrong and being told I did it wrong. And I'm like, oh, okay, but just that whole thing. I'm like, oh, this is just like my marriage, but it's not.
No.
It's nothing like my previous marriage. It was just an adjustment for me to get used to living with somebody again.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
I remember last year when we spoke, you were saying how your relationship with her was so calm and so
Yes.
peaceful that you were kind of like, you were used to the chaos of
Yes.
before. So it was almost like you got bored a little bit because you were like,
Mhm.
why isn't like, but like not realizing that that's what healthy is. Like you're
Yes.
supposed to be in tune.
Yes.
You're not supposed to be in chaos. Like that's not a good thing. But
No.
like it takes time for your brain to kind of adjust.
Detox.
And I get that. 100%. 100%. Because when things are too peaceful, I'm like, what can I do to piss him off? Like, what can I say?
Oh my God. No, I've dated like, oh my God. It's like some of my ex-girlfriends like, don't, like, we're just fine. It's Saturday night. What are you doing? It's like,
Yeah. I mean, not to that extreme, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you
it's
mean.
weird. So,
yeah, especially when all you've known is the other side of that. And now that you have peace, it's like, oh, this is nice. But it's
yeah,
been
'cause you were married for many years, right? So
20 if you round up the dating years,
oh my God.
but 16 married.
That's like a lifetime. Like that's a long time
Long
to be just with the one person and then having to somehow switch out of that and, you know, completely different personality now that you're with. So
Mhm. But it's been wonderful. Like I said, there's a few adjustments here and there, especially with a baby. You know how it
Yeah.
is when you're living with somebody. It's you can have your items here and there that pop up, but then you throw a baby in there, and then it's like, oh, okay. But she's been wonderful. 3 a.m. feedings aren't like stressful. You know, she's calm. It's like she's a wonderful mother, and it's been great. I can't complain. In the house, I should post photos because she loves Halloween like I do. She's got all this like love witch and like her elixirs and just all this decor that looks really nice, like Kirkland stuff. And I'm like, this is beautiful.
yeah, you should, especially for the holidays. My whole house downstairs is all like Jack Skellington because I love
bet.
Nightmare Christmas. When
Yeah.
people come over, like they're like, we get it. You like like you're gonna sit there, and you're gonna enjoy it. Like
Yes. And just let me have this right.
yeah.
Plus, I'm gaining weight because I haven't eaten so good in years. And like I'm trying not to get fat.
Well, that's a blessing.
I know. It's like, but God, she cooks. I'm eating like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm getting fat. I gotta start working out more. But again, I haven't eaten that good in years, so it's a blessing.
Well, that's amazing. That's a sign that you're happy. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's a sign that you're happy. So yeah.
But she is in a sense like you. But I don't know how to phrase this, but your abilities are way stronger than hers. But she does tend to see things every now and then. And I remember when we first moved in, she goes, there's a woman that's very protective of you and she doesn't want me to get near you. Like I hugged you the other night and someone like went like a growl. And I'm like, no shit, really? She's like, yeah, but I haven't seen her since. And that was the one and only paranormal time that anything came about.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It
And
sounds
I'm
like a grandma type figure, like that would kind of.
maybe I wasn't really close to my grandma's.
You'd be surprised, like you have ancestors that you may not have even met, but like they could still be super attached to you because of who you
Really?
represent or who you came from. Like it's a long line. Like I have my guides. One of them is like my great great grandma that I never even met, but I'm like, oh,
Really?
grandma, what's up? And I actually described her to my grandmother the one time. My grandmother was like, that's my mom. Like, you're talking about my mom. I'm like, oh, well, yeah,
Oh,
she
wow.
hangs out with me a lot. She's always around.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like certain people. She warns me of certain things. So, yeah, it sounds like you definitely are very protected. Ooh.
I hope that's the case. But again, nothing paranormal has happened. We did hear like a hi, like in the middle of the night. We both nudged each other. Did you hear that? Yeah. But again, there was nothing negative about it. It was just, it happened. It's like, okay, I'm going to bed.
A lot of times, if the less energy and the less what is it called? Not interest, but like the less attention you give it,
The better, right?
it's like something that's passing through. It's like, oh, we'll just go to the next house or like the next.
Like I joked on one of your videos. Don't be like the white people in those horror movies. Like, hello, is anybody there? Don't do that, right?
Ignore it. Don't even respond. Don't open the door. People go outside.
I see that all the time. Don't open the door.
Why? You just let in whatever was out there. Like, stop. I tell even my kids know this. Like, they know. They're like, they won't even look out the window. They'll text me like, "Hey, mom, we hear something." I'm like, just stay in the house. Like,
don't give it attention. Right?
It's creepy. Yeah, even my kids know. So,
let me ask you this: with your platform, again, your popularity is what it is. I mean, you've been blowing up, and mine is in its good place. And do you ever think? When my fiance told me about that present she saw of a woman who's like protective over me, do you ever think, since we're putting ourselves out there on social media, that people can maybe give us virtual ojo, or like maybe like a negative intentions through social media? I mean, sometimes I think that.
I have thought of that, and there are a lot of people who are very into like spiritualism and like they believe in all this stuff that won't even have their photos be taken, or won't even want their photos to be posted because of what a person can do a lot of damage just with your photo. So like, and I was actually talking to my mom about this the other day. My mom's like, well, you're such a public person. Like anybody can get a photo of you anywhere. I'm like, true. So it's just kind of like a comment. I try to like just always deal with every single day as if someone has done the worst. So I always just cleanse myself every single day because you just never know. There's a lot of negativity out there. But yeah, it's very true. A person can literally with your photo can do horrible. I mean, you don't want to think the worst, but like they can send you type of negativity. Even with they can send you a message. You open it up and it's boom, like right in your face. Even with a message, yeah, it's a voice message, text, email, whatever. Like the intent is there. You opening it and reading it, you're taking it in. So,
oh wow,
yeah, I should make a video on that. Yeah,
you should. That's a good idea.
All the time, even like my mom. Okay, so I'm like, I have my gifts, but my mom's like, she is through the roof, like with her knowledge and her gifts. And she was telling me, she's like, even when you're texting someone, avoid using the word yes, because you can essentially be saying yes to anything. And this is not obviously if you're like texting your fiance or whatever, but like if you're just avoid, say sure or of course, or like try to think of something else but the word yes, because that's such a strong word that can be used for you to like essentially welcome or be accepting of whatever. Like you have no clue. So she was telling me, she's like, yeah, just try to think of other ways. And I still say the word. I'm like, when I send it, I'm like,
yeah.
But yeah, even through social media, through messages, through texts, voice messages, people can send you stuff. And I mean, I've had it happen to me actually. It was kind of crazy. So it's a bit scary.
Have you experienced that feeling? Because I don't do lives as much as I used to. But there's been a few times in the past where I'm talking about maybe a sensitive topic, and I just feel the energy just change because I know maybe I've offended some people, not everybody. But have you ever felt that during a live where the mood is just positive and then it just changes? I mean, because I'm thinking if they can give you virtual, I know that's not the proper term, right? But if they can give give you something via just a message, can they do it while you're live with them? Because I think maybe you're even more connected to them.
No, they definitely can. I mean, I personally haven't had an experience while I was live, but I did have like an old friend. She's not my friend anymore, but who, for whatever reason, social media blew up for me. So she became envious. That's how it started. And apparently she was into like, I call her like a Google witch. She would Google all her stuff. That's what I call her. Like she didn't have any actual like anything. She just Googled everything. But I remember I ended up, she got out of control. I blocked her on everything. And so she went and messaged me from a different number. And when she messaged me, she said my full name, my first, middle, and last name.
Wow.
Like, she just pretty much stated it like out there. And I'm like, this sent something to me. Like, I know she did. And that night I had the horrible night terrors. I had this female like D word, like trying to attack me. And I'm like, this crazy ass Google figured out a way. But yeah, anytime if you get any type of messages where it states like your full name, like that's not good. Like that person is it's like an intent. But like I've never been had anything through live. I don't really go live as much as you do. I go live maybe once every 6 months.
Really?
Like I just went live like 2 days ago for the first time in like 6 months because I very rarely.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to get better at it now, but then now I have more time. Before I always had somebody who had a problem with it. So you know what I mean?
Holding you back. Just kidding.
He would anything to do with social media, he would get so mad. I'm like,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta make a quick video. He'd be like,
ugh, like you're taking attention away from
give me
me.
like 10 minutes. Take me like 10 minutes. But yeah.
One of your videos recently brought up a topic that I've heard about, but I have not really dove into it. You said, I think your grandpa he can astral project during dreams. So what is that, the whole thing with astral projection?
Okay, so pretty much astral projection is the art of you being able to essentially go to sleep and your body can leave your soul can leave your body and you can travel. So you can be laying in bed knocked out. Mm-hmm. And it takes like a whole thing for you to be able to do it. Some people can naturally just do it. Other people, it's like a whole ceremony that you have to do before you can do this. And you can literally travel and you can be sleeping and you can be downstairs seeing what people are doing downstairs. So you can leave your house and go somewhere else. Like it's this whole mind thing. So my mom's stepdad was very heavily into the spirituality, but not in a good way. He was into all the dark stuff. And astral projection is not anything positive. You're working with darkness when you start doing that. Like, essentially, like there is no God involved in this. Like you're on your own. Like you're traveling, you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be going around leaving your body and like traveling. Like that's God's not with that pretty much. So she tells me how when she was young, he did this for a living for people to like find things out or like whatever. Whoa. So he had an office where he would like do a protection spell and he would lay in the middle and then he would just be gone for the night.
Yeah.
And do whatever and then come back and they can like leave things behind. They can pueden echarte brujeria. They can leave, like they can come around and leave brujeria around wherever house it's like this whole thing. So I was trying to cover that, but it's crazy and definitely don't recommend it. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that would like they'll read an article and be like, "Oh yeah, I should try that." I'm like, "No, don't do that.
Don't try it." Yeah.
No, don't try that because a lot of times if you and I know it sounds super crazy, but like if you're out of your body and someone disturbs like your physical body, you may not be able to come back. And a lot of times you just don't wake up.
Yeah, that would be my fear, not finding my way back, and then you're lost. Is it like I think you referenced the movie Insidious.
Yeah, that's what made me even think of it because I saw it the other night and I was like, oh, and again, I don't recommend that, but I didn't watch it at my house. I wasn't home. I was somewhere else.
Okay.
I won't watch it at my house. Stay over there, whoever else's house. But that's what made me think of it. And I was like, oh, I've heard of this. And yeah, it's something that some people can they can just do. And other people, it takes more work. But they can literally leave their bodies at night and go mess around and do whatever else. So
that sounds.
Why would you want to do that? I feel like.
Yeah, I just see too many problems there. Like it's funny because, well, not funny, but like at night, after the baby's asleep, I have a night mask that I wear, right? And I recently bought some that have speakers, so you can hook up your phone and have speakers. I go to bed with thunderstorms and rain. I love that. That puts me to sleep. And I'm on YouTube trying to find it's like 10-hour videos, right? But I'm looking through what video should I watch tonight? Then they have a video astro projection video. Like it's got all these harmonics. Apparently the body's connected with vibration. So if you watch these videos, it's just a certain frequency and it helps you astral project. And I'm not going to fuck with that. I'm not going to mess with that, but people do that. And it actually helps them.
I think I said on the video, like there's actually a school in India that specializes in teaching people how to astral project. And there's also like a yoga type of class that you can take that specializes in astral projection. So this is a very dark practice. This is not anything that's positive that I would ever, like you're dealing with a lot of negativity you're going to come across. And you know what's crazy? When you're there and your body's empty, who do you think is going to want to try to make their way in? Like,
see my eyes right now. Like, whoa, I didn't think about that.
You know what I mean? Like, you're an empty vessel at this point.
Yeah.
So you may come back, but you're not really back. So.
Yeah.
it's the whole thing. So I mean, a lot of those movies, I mean, they come up with the storylines based on. They don't just come up with storylines. Like there's some type of knowledge behind it or whatever. So yeah, that made me think. And my mom told me that story, and I was like, what? And apparently, like she was telling me her stepdad was like a master like witch or something. I was like, what? And like I looked up news articles of him. Like he was huge in Colombia, and I was gonna do a story on him, but like something, whatever protects me was like, shut up. So I didn't.
Like, don't mention his name because he could possibly show up.
He must have some type of protection that it's my guides are like, don't mess with that. So I haven't. So I only briefly mentioned him there, but I won't say his name or anything, obviously. So
yeah.
But yeah, apparently he was like huge. I was like, wow, I didn't know this. Interesting.
So your bloodline, I thought maybe the gift came from your mother. It came from your mother. I think you've told me in previous shows, but is this not your mother? It's your mother's stepfather, right? I believe. Like,
no. He's not. I mean, he has his own stuff, but like we on our side, we have our gifts, and my mom has always been extremely sensitive, and she's been able to pick up on things, and my grandmother as well. Like it kind of runs that way, but he dabbled in the dark arts. I guess it was different versus you just naturally being able to do things. And I know my dad's side, apparently my dad's grandmother was also like huge. I was like, where are all these people coming from?
Yeah.
Like she was like known as like the main curandera or whatever. I don't freaking know. So
wow.
They have since passed on. I never met her. I met my grandmother who passed on. But when you dabble with darkness, you don't end well. And they all had horrible deaths when they passed. So that's why I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mess with that
like,
at all.
I'm just going to tell my stories and tell you guys how to stay clean and call it a day. So,
and actually value everything you share. And I remember one of your videos is like you said, don't have a mirror in your room or something of that effect. Yeah. And since we moved in, whatchamacallit, my mother-in-law also lives with us because her and my fiance lived together for like 10 years. And I go, okay, well, you can live here. You stay in my room until we build an apartment in my garage. You know, we have a whole plan, right? Yeah. And plus things are expensive nowadays, like crazy.
Oh my God. Right. And mortgage is insane.
Yeah. And my house is big enough. So we're just so her and I moved into my daughter's room, and my daughter has sliding doors on her closet that are mirrors.
Oh,
and
those doors.
And she had and my daughter had like a curtain rod and it covered because my daughter always got weird vibes. And I told my fiance, like, we can't have mirrors in here because that's a portal, I think. She goes, just stop it. She goes, there's nothing going to happen. And you know what? Since we've been there, we've had one incident and I'm like sleeping on the side of the bed that's next to the mirrors. And I've never felt weird. I've never had a night of nightmares. I've never had a negative experience, but they're right there in front of me. But I remember your warning about not having that. I'm like, if anything happens, I'm blaming you because I was told we're not supposed to have mirrors in the bedroom.
Well, essentially, it says you're not going to get a restful sleep because at night when you're sleeping, your energy replenishes itself, and if it has a mirror, it's just gonna keep going right back. Like it doesn't. But like if you, like the whole portal thing is if you have mirrors facing each other.
Oh no,
portal. But yeah, that I'm like, I'm sorry, but we can't talk. I'm gonna hang up on you. And I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But like, but if it's like a mirror, like essentially you're not gonna get a good night's sleep, and it's just not. There's a lot of weirdness going on in mirrors. I mean, there are ways of like cleansing the mirror. You can cleanse it, but I definitely would not want to sleep with a mirror facing my bed at all. Like I have one mirror all the way down there, and it's away from my bed. Like I don't. Just
what can happen? Like in other words, what can possibly happen? Like can you see like maybe things differently? Like maybe like in the mirror, like in the movies, right? You see somebody look in the mirror and they see somebody in the background in the mirror, but behind them there's nothing. Like what could happen? Like honestly,
I mean, essentially for the whole mirror thing, if it's just like the mirror facing your bed, it's more with like your sleep.
Okay, your sleep. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Like you're not gonna have a restful sleep because your body's not able to kind of cleanse itself. But like I think the big problem is if you had the two, then you're really going to start seeing things like bouncing back and forth and stuff. Okay. That's what they say that one hotel. They have a movie for this. I'm like horrible with names. The twin girls, the weird twin girls.
Shining.
Yeah. A lot of the reason why this hotel is so incredibly haunted even to this day is because they have a bunch of mirrors in their hallways and they face each other.
Hmm.
So it brings a bunch of craziness and opens up portals and stuff. So
Yeah.
definitely don't want to do that. Just like with Ouija boards and all of that. I mean, you're
Yeah.
opening portals in order to allow things
Hmm.
to come to your space. So
It's funny how Ouija boards, like now as an adult man, I would never ever let that come in my house. But as a kid in the 80s, we played with it like it was Monopoly.
it was nothing. Yeah. And my mom never let me have one. But I remember
Okay.
being so mad and be like, Mom, but like they have it at Toys R Us. So how bad could it be?
Yeah.
And mom's like, no. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and of course, me being a kid, like in third grade or whatever, being like, whatever, that's she's wrong, whatever. And we went and drew it on a paper and did it in my room. That was the biggest mistake of my life because we ended up welcoming some craziness into our house. My mom felt right away. And we had to call the priest. It was like this whole thing just from us drawing it on a piece of paper and like asking it a bunch of questions, just being stupid little girls. And yeah, so I can't even imagine like big no.
Yeah.
My kids know, like, you better not even think about it. Like,
Hmm.
nope.
Yeah. And it's funny that there's people out there who don't believe in this stuff. And they call them talking boards. I think the Ouija board is kind of like a trademark name, but they call them talking boards or whatever the case is.
Oh,
But yeah, I would never mess with that because I remember, again, like I said, as a kid, we played with it. Like, how old is Rudy? You know, with stupid questions you ask as a kid, you know, like, what's my favorite cereal? You know, but everybody whose house we used it in, their families were always fighting. And maybe that they were just fighting to begin with, right? But I do know every house we were at who used it, they were always not in a good place. And a lot of them got divorced.
oh, that definitely does bring in a lot of negativity. And it was funny. I was just telling somebody this story like years ago. I went to a friend of a friend's house. We were all getting ready to go out together. We were going to go like out for the night together. But we had to stop at this girl's house. We walk in. The minute I walk in, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like it was something in me was just like,
yeah.
I felt like my skin was I'm like, oh my God. So finally I ended up stepping outside and I stayed on the porch and I'm like, I can't go in there. And they're like, what is your problem? Like, we're getting ready to leave. They're all like getting ready. They're all like pre-gaming, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I can't be in there.
Yeah.
So long story short, one of my friends was telling me, I'm like, well, she holds sciences. Is that how you say it? I can't pronounce it.
Seance.
They hold those in the living room with the Ouija board. Like they have parties and stuff. And I'm like, that's why I'm like, I need to get out of here because there was a lot of stuff they welcomed to the house. Long story short, that girl ended up like herself. Like after down the road, I don't know what happened, but like you get involved with all this darkness, you're gonna have darkness. And it's just so I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't mess with it either. And you're right, because I remember the houses, like I said, that we would play with it. When I would ever go to their house to visit, you walk in, it's like, ugh. It's just like just
dark.
Yeah, you just ugly feeling, like you feel like somebody's watching you, and you just need to get the hell out of there.
Probably smells weird.
I don't remember, but but I just remember I didn't want to be in there or be alone.
But yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, my son, what is it?
Are the groceries here?
Not yet. They'll be here soon.
Okay. Well, we can wrap it up. We're approaching the hour mark, so I think we're good. We got everything we need. I was going to bring up some La Llorona stories, but I think we covered that last year.
Yeah, we did talk a lot about them. I'm trying to think.
What else does she want? Why is she hanging around so much?
You know what? November is her favorite month.
Why is that?
That's just, I don't know. That's just the month of the saints. That's the month of the old souls. That's the month of the souls of the purgatory come out in November. So if you're up past midnight, you may hear some chanting, some music. I mean, again, if you live near a cemetery. So I live right across the street from one.
That's right. I remember that. Like, girl, why would you pick that place?
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I got a good deal in the house.
Hey, there you go. That's all that matters.
But and especially in Colombia, like there's like a whole when we have funerals, we do a whole procession. And they like go all around town. So in November, late at night, you'll hear like the bells and the music, and there's no one out there but you. Yeah.
So it sounds like it's a beautiful thing. Like, just let them be. They're out there doing their thing, and just
pretty much just let them be. Don't poke your head out, because if you catch their attention, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
then they're going to come at you. So, and there's a lot of people, from what I heard, they actually like pray to them and they ask them for favors. But they say never ever ask an anima for a favor because she will hold it over your head for the rest of your life, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like a whole thing. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like what would I ask her anyway? I could never mind.
Like can you help me with,
my
can
debt.
you bring more money into my life, or can you help this person get fired from her job, or like just stuff like that.
Well, that's why you go buy the sweat the candles. You go buy that and just light it in your house. You don't need to ask anybody for a favor.
What's candles?
Those good candles, good luck candles. That you buy at the store, like over here. I'm in San Antonio, right? So it's Catholic and Hispanic, and in the grocery aisle, they have a whole dedicated aisle of candles, like good luck, the lottery candles, all these saints. But the good luck ones, I think I'm saying sweat they wrong, like good luck wrong, and you buy those and they're black and all that. I never bought them, but I always joke that we're going to buy one.
Oh, I'm just saying, when anything with black candles, I definitely would maybe second guess it a little bit.
Yeah, but they look cool.
Black, you're dealing with darkness. Like,
they look cool.
But I don't think I've ever done any candles. I mean, I grew up Catholic. Now I'm Christian, or am I still Christian? I don't know. I haven't been to church in a while, but
I'm not denomination myself. I don't know.
Yeah, I just believe in God.
Yeah, I'll send you pictures. Next time I'm at the store, I'll send you pictures of the candles. Just this is what I was talking about. But Tatiana, I know you got to go. And again, thank you for doing this for our third annual Halloween sync up.
Around October, it's fun. It's always fun. I wish I had more relationship stuff to talk about, but
no, it's all ghosts and a little bit of relationship stuff. But again, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I'm good. So it was great catching up, and congratulations on your engagement. And
thank you.
We'll do this again next year.
We definitely will. All right. Okay. So take care. Right.
All right. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Yeah.